Okay, so I'm not trying to be a brat, but wouldn't it be lovely if when I came to the storage unit, if the doors were always open? It's just me, I'm sure. Here we go. So we're ready to open it up, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is that we've been doing since my first video. I have rearranged a few things and updated a couple of boxes to show what it is exactly that I've been up to. Okay, it's going to be a little loud and it's going to look a little bit different. So here we go. Here we go. You ready? Also, here's a good tip. Don't use your car key when you're trying to open a storage unit. Welcome back. Thanks so much for coming back. I really am so glad that you decided to join me again. So this is my storage unit. And as you can see, it has been 4 weeks. Sadly, I haven't gotten a lot done. And that is not going to be something that holds me back. I'm not going to say, oh, woe is me, January's off to a bad start. No, that is not me. I am not that kind of a girl. So what it is that, you know, I've had some setbacks, and setbacks are exactly that, right? We just keep pushing forward. We're going to keep moving forward because that is the kind of person that I am, and that's the kind of person that you are. You're a reseller. You're in this for a reason. You didn't choose this because you're like, I'm going to pick up something and try to sell it. You're in it because you want to be here. You picked up this channel and you're like, hey, what does this crazy redhead girl want to show me? This is it. You're saying, I'm showing you the things not to do. So the first one we said, don't get a storage unit, don't get over your head. Be sure to make, good choices when you're purchasing things. Don't buy boxes of Kleenex and think, hey, I'm going to resell these and make millions. That's not what we're here about, right? We're here to talk about the things that make the most sense and to flip these things for a profit. Buy low, sell high, and the things that make the most sense. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that have changed since we saw each other last. I also want to make sure and show you this. My daughter was so thoughtful. She gave me her light. Oh, sorry about that. Her light. Now this she picked up at Lowe's. It's not very expensive, maybe 20 bucks, but it's a really cool light, and she gifted this to me. She used to use this at her events when she was a vendor at events at nightclubs and stuff. And so it basically just sticks on the shelves, the metal shelves, and it's a light and it angles everywhere, so I don't have to be in the dark. It's not dark here. There's lights outside of where I'm at, but there's no lighting inside of the storage unit. And so now, you can see a little bit better in here, which is awesome. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, my daughter. I appreciate you so much. So as you can see here, what I have done is I've labeled these, and in the beginning, you're going to see some different labels coming up, and it's just because I'm becoming more efficient as I go. So this one says eBay ready to list January 2023. And there are several boxes like this. Clearly, I would not be able to get through every one of these boxes in a week because I went through 3 with Rachel, 5 with Christy, 3 with Kristen, and so on. And as being, a mom, with having some migraine issues, with having some other medical issues, blah, 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 blah. All these things, right? It's a lot going on in my life, but I could put them here, and then I can come back and I can go back here and I could pick through these and see, am I going to go ahead and am I going to list them, or am I going to put them in my garage sale or my whatnot? So I can decide when I get back here which way we're going to go with them. Now there's lots of them I kept notes with. So if you were in my first ones, if you saw my lives, you'll see my head kind of pop in and out. That was me taking notes. So I did that quite often because I wanted to make sure what I was keeping track of. And I will probably go back and, rewatch some of those to see what exactly it was that the ladies and gentlemen in the chat were reminding me, cottage core, granny, moo-moos, what kind of quilting it was. So there's lots of information that are in these boxes that I can definitely utilize to my best interest for when I label these, for when I actually list these again on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, or on Facebook Marketplace. Some of you asked me to show you around what is in here. And here's what I have. There's some Cisco phones up here, video games, gaming systems back here, Lego. Down here, there's some other items. I'll take the light with me, hang on. Up here, I've got other items there. I've got Tiffany lamps going on up here. And then just a ton more items back here. And then you can see there's just stuff. So I have a lot of, and of course, look at that. Yep, that is a guitar. Congratulations, you now have had some time to get some items around your house, whether it be remotes, clothing, goodie hair ties, whatever they are, and you have listed them, and hopefully you've also made some sales. So I'm very excited for you, and I'm hoping that you have also accumulated at least 1 or 2 containers and put like a little label on them so you can keep them well organized. And then that way they're out of the way and they're nice and neat, and when you're ready to get them, you can just go get into your container and you can say, oh, I've got my spatula right here, and then it's out of the way, boom, boom, and you're ready to mail it off. That's what you want. The next step is to go sourcing. So wherever you want to have, if you have a thrift store nearby, a lot of people go to Goodwill or their Salvation Armies. We are pretty lucky here in Orlando, so we have lots of different areas here, and we have garage sales pretty much year round. So we're able to go get things like, I'll show you, like these kinds of things, where it's a little bag, a little makeup carry case, or some beads, a little tchotchke things like this. So we get things like that all the time, and they're very inexpensive. And our Goodwill outlet, or we like to call them Goodwill bins, where you can go and find a lot of cool stuff, and they weigh by the pound. So it's sourcing low and selling high. So it's just a matter of going out there and diving in to see what you can find. And when you go, enjoy it. Keep yourself at a budget. So if your budget is this much, stay within that budget. Don't go over it, because you want to make sure and continue to grow that, right? You don't want to like go overboard and get like this and then feel like you are drowning, because who wants to feel like that? Nobody, I promise you, nobody wants to feel like that. It is not a fun feeling at all, which is why I'm doing the series. So now that you're there, continue on that path, and reach out on Instagram and on YouTube, and just continue to learn about all the new things that you're learning about. So whatever it is that you are not sure about, so spreadsheets or taxes, or new products. Again, I'll reach out for this bag. So, whoopsie. Like if this was a designer bag and you were like, oh, I don't know about the designer. I have somebody that knows about designer. Rachel Strickland has lots of different ways to figure out if it's a designer bag or not. Check out her link. I'll help you with that. So there's just so many ways that you can know how to get a good, if it's a good item or not. Okay, so we've gone over some really cool points, right? So we made sure that what not to do as a full-time reseller, don't get a storage unit first. Don't get a storage unit first, but also to stay within your budget, to be sure that you source around your home first, be sure to ask your family and friends for all their items because they don't want it, right? If they're not going to keep it and they're going to donate it, they might as well donate it to you, who then can look through it and then donate it appropriately to whomever you want to give it to. And then after that, go ahead and source accordingly. So, go to your bins, go to local thrift stores, go to the garage sales, source online too. Don't forget Mercari, Poshmark, eBay. A lot of times they'll have those awesome sales, the junk drawer sales, things like that. So thrift accordingly to your budget, and then you can go ahead and buy low and sell high. I promise that is the way to build that momentum. Once you get that momentum up, you are going to feel so amazing about your choice of being a reseller, and it's going to be a really good feeling. There are going to be highs and lows, and there are going to be lows and lows, but if you stick through it and it's something that you really are passionate about, much like myself, then you're going to feel really good about your decision. Again, reach out if you have any questions. We've got plenty of people in our community that are so amazing and that just really are here for you. And I am really, kind of not new, but new-ish. So if you have any questions and I don't know, I know who to ask. Again, thank you so much for being here. I am Chrissy. I am Collins on the Move, and I really appreciate you being here. Again, thank you so much. Have a fabulous week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Something else I wanted to be sure and mention that in April 8th, the Autism Society of Greater Orlando is going to have their annual walk. My son and I, are going to be having a team, and it's called Collins on the Move. And some of these items are actually going to be on Whatnot as a fundraiser. So keep your eyes and ears open for that because I will be having those pretty frequently. In general, I'll have a Whatnot anyways, but I will also be sure to tell you that it's going to be a fundraiser for the walk for his team. Now, there are going to be a couple of ones that we're going to be doing, and I actually have a special guest that we're working on together, collaborating. So I just want to make sure and put that bug in your ear. Don't forget, Whatnot is going to be for a fundraiser, and I'll make sure and tell you ahead of time which ones we're going to be doing fundraisers for and which ones are going to be just normal storage unit ones as well.